Honey, we are here back again. These Asians are so mad they underestimate the power of black people coming together and not taking disrespect. No longer we're going to take disrespect. No longer you're going to treat us like we're second and third class citizens when we were here in America first. So I have so many black Americans talking about the Asian boycott or some and also Asians that are speaking up about this as well. And it looked like a lot of Asians are still fed up, and they are telling their people, "Hey, we need to rearrange our thought process because there's no going back." And the Black American says, even if the Asians apologize, it's not going back because it's really not about Asians boycott. It's really about upping and investing more into black businesses for black families to prosper in America in their own neighborhoods. So I want you guys to watch this video. We're going to keep our foots on their neck and comment. I want to know your thoughts about this. I got some really, really good footages. Check this out.
Since my last video, there has been a lot of pressure to follow up. I've been receiving messages upon messages. Some are positive, many are threats. What should I do? What should I say? You shouldn't do. And in that, I had to take a step back and think about what I need to do going forward. And I realized there is a large responsibility on what I would say, and I need to order my steps in my words correctly. And I prayed for guidance, and here I am now. With that, I've had a lot of conversation with people on the opposing sides, and one of them in which was the woman Monica. And I don't think that conversation is going to happen anymore. And here's why.
Of a boycott, every single one of them. Boycott the hair, walk around with your bald ass head, don't eat the Chinese food, don't do any of that, okay? Because let me tell you, there is not enough black owned business for y'all trying to cancel every.
People who think like that, their mindset is set in stone and there's no changing it. There's no reasoning. There's not even given the facts because they're going to just shoot them down just to be right. And the funny part about it is that woman tries to say she's from the hood. She grew up in the hood. And that's the thing that we be talking about so much. Proximity to blackness does not give you the right to speak on black issues. Because the reason why is not that you're speaking from a place of love and care. You're speaking from a place of bias and hate. But see, it's funny how when black people say that we're just going to start focusing on us and trying to build up our communities, that translates into Asian hate. But see, it looks like you did that on your own.
Hey, look at this. Look. Hey.
Looks like you wrote a check that your ass can't cash. And then if you do try to cash it, it's gonna bounce. And that comes from speaking on things that you don't know or understand, but I'm gonna learn you today. See, the very nails that you guys claim to own, this is something that a lot of people don't understand that you all brought to the country and made a cheaper service. See, nails always and always have been luxury service for women, even dating back to Egyptian times where they were seen as a wealth status and spiritual status. And the higher up you are spiritually, the longer, more elegant your nails are. See, what a lot of people in the Asian community won't tell you is back when Vietnam was at war, they came over here in mass amounts, in droves. And there was no place for them to work because, America, the racist place that was racist for everybody, didn't let them work. Can you imagine that? So what did the immigrants do? They came together and found out that they could do nails, and they put their skills together and they trained families upon families on ways to cater to the community and sell their nails. And in that, they created the fast shops, $25 nails. Because before Vietnamese immigrants came to the US, nails were considered a high-end luxury service, somewhere around $80. But they found a way to cut the middleman out and make it cheaper so they can service to the Americans at a faster, quicker rate. But you want to know something else? They still weren't making money because the women who were coming in getting the simple nail sets were only covering the basics. It was the Latinas and the black women who were getting the long, elegant nails that foot the bill. So in 1964, when the Civil Rights Act passed and more black women and colored women entered into the workforce, more of these quick pop-up shops popped up to cater to them to get their business. They also won't tell you that most of the loans that they receive to open businesses are specifically made to be opened in black neighborhoods. They also won't tell you that they really don't like you and they're trained on social skills and basic conversation skills. You know, the typical, hey, you have a boyfriend? Yeah, they're taught that. That's all a part of their psyche class that they get before they go and get the training to do nails. That even further solidifies the point that y'all really don't even fuck with us. It just came out because of the situation. But that's all good because we're done talking to other races about what they need to do for us. And we need to start talking to each other about what we need to do for each other. And in that, we have black businesses, the ones that they don't think about. We have black businesses, the ones that they laugh about. We have black businesses, the ones that they counted out. We just need to count each other in. It's this constant conversation all the time about black customers, black businesses. Black businesses are too expensive, black customers are rude. We need to fix that. We need to fix it just with the people. The reason they're scared of a boycott is because they know the power of the black dollar. And I'm in no way inciting a boycott or a riot. What I am urging everybody to do is to drive the extra mile just for a sister. Drive the extra mile just for a brother if you know that their business is over there. And in that, I hope to usher in what I call the Black Reset. Listen, what else can we call it? Black Lives Matter was hijacked by All Lives Matter, right? They turned it into something it never was supposed to be. That was supposed to be something for us to show that, listen, we matter too. But see, here's the thing. Anytime we do something for self, it's always translated into hate for everybody else. Maybe if we just dial this down a little bit, the Black Reset, it'll make more sense. See, we're just resetting how we deal with one another. We're resetting how we do business with one another. We're resetting how we communicate with one another. There's times where I see somebody, it's another sister or brother, they might have an attitude. I have to remember, this is my sister. I'm gonna reset. Hey, I'm gonna reset real quick. Let's start over. We owe that to one another. When you go into a business, if you see a customer coming to your business, acknowledge them. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming to my business. How can I help you? And customers, say hello, speak when you walk in. We have to change the energy in which we give each other. And once we raise our frequency, can't nobody touch us. My site is live. I want you to go grab a shirt, start the movement, the Black Reset. On my site, there are these window stickers as well. The Black Reset, Reset, Realign, Rise. Because if you put this on your business, you put this on your window, this lets anybody know that this is about change. This is a reset. You come in here, you're going to get a smile from me. You're going to get top of the line business. And as a customer, you have this on, you're letting people know that you're coming about your business. You're coming to support a black business with respect. And if you're not a black business and you don't want to get boycotted, put this on your window too. I'm playing, but I'm not. But if you want to really show you an ally, put this on your storefront. If it's really not, if you don't want the boycott, if you understand what we're saying, you could be a part of the Black Reset too. Hashtag the Black Reset. This is going to start a new era for everybody. This is not a hate train. This is not a boycott train like everybody's trying to make it out to be. This is simply a call to action for black people to realize that can do better. We just need to do it now. That's all it is. We have the businesses, but we need to build on top of what we already have and make it stronger. The foundation is already there. On this website, there will also be an option for you to have business training opportunities to better your customer service. This is not saying you're doing anything wrong. This is just looking at what's going right and how we can expand and do better, because there's always room for better. And accountability is going to be what gets us through this. I'm not trying to come at anybody's business, but there are some opportunities for changes. We need to do better. Our attitudes have been piss poor with one another. If we want change, if we want everybody else to treat us better, we need to do better. The Black Reset. I have a homeboy who's about this too, and he also has a website that he is building that is going to market every black business imaginable to toothpaste, toothbrushes, news outlets, clothing stores. It's going to be on there. Any news dealing with black people is going to be on this website, blackwallstreetmap.com. That's where you're going to go to find the latest and the greatest news on black people, black things, and black businesses. See, what they expected was a boycott. What they expected was a riot. What they expected is for us to be mad, having fake out.
Again, Moors, this is an opportunity. So these sleepy Moors, they're saying not another dime. Eventually, they're going to be like, Oh, why? They're going to be like, there's got to be a way that I can counteract these people using their nationality against me, because of, I'm not taking it seriously, but I'm just going to pass it on. Apparently, there are Asian American business owners who are going around, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, saying we need to file yet another Asian hate bill because the black folks said we ain't gonna shop with us. They're not gonna shop with us anymore. So, and I bet it'll work. It sounds like you trying to get legislation passed that says black folks gonna be forced to shop with y'all. Because that's all they're not hating on you. They're not hating you at all. They're just saying we're not coming to your store. Don't you have the whole rest of the country to shop with you? No, because everybody else shops with their own. That's why your business is failing. They either shop with their own or they shop with our oppressor. So when we don't show up, wow, we were the only ones shopping with you. Act like we're the only customers in the country. Turns out we were. So Moors, you need to be positioning yourselves, right? Because it's like being the guy who decided to start building garages when cars were first being manufactured. Everybody, what's you crazy? That thing is hokey. It ain't gonna go nowhere. All right, I'm just saying, get ready, stay ready, take your places.
This boycott might be the wake-up call that Asian people really needed. Hear me out. Everybody worried about how this boycott is going to hurt Asian businesses, but I'm more interested in what this boycott is going to make us become. Let's be real. Most of us are operating on formulas that were built 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago by our parents and grandparents. Shit not the same no more. The world changed since then. Technology changed, communication changed. Man, everything changed. The only thing that ain't really changed is our systems. And here's another thing. Most other people look at Asians like we all the same, but that could be farthest from the truth. Because Asians as a whole is actually divided as fuck. Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Cambodian, Thai, Filipino. Those are all people from different countries. We completely different people. But in America, everybody looks at us like we're the same. So this boycott ain't just gonna affect one group of Asians. It's gonna affect Asians collectively in America. And history has shown when pressure is applied to different groups of people at the same time, it has a way of making us realize that we got more in common than we actually thought. So could this boycott hurt many Asian businesses? You damn right. But could it also wake the Asian people up in a way that we never saw before? Abso-fucking-lutely. It could make us rethink how we operate and come up with new formulas instead of relying on old ones. It could make younger Asians start stepping up in a way that Asians ain't never stepped up before. Because one thing we Asians have always been good at is adapting. When times get hard, we adjust. When old opportunities disappear, we make new ones. When doors close, we build our own. So the question shouldn't be, what if the boycott hurts Asians? The question should be, what if this boycott wakes us the fuck up?
Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. So I find it very interesting that now that people that look like me are saying we're no longer going to patronize and spend our money with the Asian businesses that are in our communities because they, for decades, disrespected us, brought harm to us, and just been very much so vile in many instances. And so now they're accusing us of being racist and hateful and spreading anti-Asian hate and all of that. Well, we've never been the ones to collectively spew anti-Asian hate or be racist towards them. And we've never been a danger or threat to them either. If we were, they wouldn't have felt so comfortable being in our presence in our communities for decades, even until this day. They would not have stayed there if that were the case, and they know that isn't the case. And I find it interesting that as soon as we start talking about taking back our black dollars, then people want to start saying that we're being hateful, when hate is what was shown to us, which is why we no longer want to give our money. Okay, let's get into it. And some of them trying to act as though they don't understand why we're so upset. And they say that we're blaming all of them for the actions of one. Again, it wasn't just the actions of one. It's the culmination of things that have happened over the decades. But also, even if it were just about the Rick Chow verdict, they still would understand how we feel, or at least they should, because something very similar happened to them. Okay, at the end of the day, it started a whole civil rights movement for their community. Okay, please pay attention. Now, June 19th of 1982, two Caucasian men took the life of a Chinese American by the name of Vincent Chin. Okay, his life was taken after he was repeatedly pummeled with a baseball bat. Now, the two people who did this got absolutely no consequences, and the Asian community was very upset, and they took to the streets because they wanted justice, just like we do. Okay, so please pay attention.
Was about to be married.
It was June 19th, 1982. My cousin Vincent Chin decided to do an impromptu bachelor party, as one does, and he invited his friends to the Fancy Pants Club. And there was two men, Ronald Ebens and his stepson Michael Nitz, who were across the bar and they were having this argument.
The two men Vincent Chin fought with in the bar found him here, a few blocks away, and in the middle of the street beat him with a baseball bat.
He swung the bat as if a baseball player was swinging for a home run.
Now, as you can see, these are the charges that both Ebens and Nitz were hit with. Okay, please pay attention. They ended up getting 3 years probation, no jail time, and a $3,000 fine. Okay, please pay attention. As you can see, they were very upset and they wanted justice, as I said, and they were just as upset as we are right now, saying the same things, some of the same things that we have been saying. You know, that if the roles were reversed and had been the shoe on the other foot, how things may have turned out quite differently. Please pay attention. They definitely didn't think that a $3,000 fine and probation would suffice. Eventually, they were able to prove, after a witness came forward, that the incident was racially motivated. So they also were very upset, and due to the public outrage at the small fine and the probationary period that was imposed, well, this eventually led to a federal indictment for them violating Vincent Chin's civil rights. Okay, please pay attention. At a federal trial, Ebens was found guilty for one count of violating Vincent Chin's civil rights. He was sentenced to 25 years, but then his conviction was overturned on appeal. Okay, causing more outrage. Please pay attention.
The movement.
The sentences outraged Chinese Americans in Detroit and around the country.
When Vincent Chin was killed, that was a turning point for the Asian American community. We knew that terrible thing had happened to Vincent, but it could have been my brothers, my friends. It was really a pan-Asian movement that developed. Truly a civil rights movement.
Vincent Chin's mother was so grief-stricken and so upset that she didn't get any level of justice for her son's death. She ended up packing up her things and going back to China. Okay, please pay attention. And mind you, when all of this was going on, the people who look like me absolutely had empathy and sympathy for them. It's interesting that the people who make all of their money, most of their money, a large portion of it, off of our community, and who've been through some of the same hateful things that we've had to deal with in this country at the hands of the same people, look at us as though we're just cash cows and they don't have to care anything about our lives. And then they get upset rather than showing empathy and sympathy, get upset when we finally decide to stand up and demand justice and respect. Please pay attention. But rather than showing empathy and sympathy, some of them have chosen to try to portray their businesses as being black owned now, to try to trick us into buying from them whether we choose to or not. And I find that absolutely diabolical and egregious and clearly nefarious, to say the least, because the bottom line is this. If you say that you don't need our money and you challenged us to this, and now we're actually doing it, why would you have to go and try to portray yourselves as businesses owned by us to try to continue to get us to patronize you? Because obviously you do. Absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I still need our money.
Asian beauty supply chains, they gonna start blocking a lot of us indigenous individuals from owning our own business, you know, by not selling us the supplies that we need. But that's cool. So yeah, they could go in here and try to block us all they want to. Y'all can hide that shit. Keep that shit. Y'all can go to y'all warehouses every day and look at that shit like, oh yeah, these niggers won't get this. I mean, I don't know how Asians sound like, but I ain't trying to mock y'all like that. But I'm just saying though, y'all can hide that shit. And, you know, y'all keep that shit. Eventually, you gonna come holler at us, and that's on y'all. But I think the best move to be is to try to coexist. At least to try to say, you know what, hey, yeah, you know what? We do make a lot of money off the indigenous community. We got to find a way to give back. Give back. Y'all don't even give back, man. Y'all are come and open up these stores and all this shit and won't even get back to the community y'all in. The community come there and spend hundreds of thousands with y'all. And y'all won't do nothing for the community. Not a T-ball team. You won't open up a little gas station basketball team. You won't open up a little beauty supply store basketball team. Just find ways to get back to the community. You know what I'm saying? You're making all type of money off the community. Why not try to give back to the community? You know, like they got this one spot here where I'm at, man. It's on the south side, man. It's the only place that be selling like urban clothes and shit, man. The Asian dude been here for the longest. Man, and he right in the hood. His shit like smack on the south, right in the hood, bro. Not one time have you ever heard this man doing anything for the black community. And the blacks will go to his store and spend all type of motherfucking money in there on fake shit that the employees be wearing and putting back on the rack. Man, all type of goofy ass shit. And the crazy part about it is, you know, motherfuckers be talking about like dude really be looking out for blacks because he got black employees. No, nigga, he ain't looking out for no blacks because he got black employees. He got black employees in that motherfucker for the overlay, for the underlay, or however you used to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? He trying to fool, man, listen, motherfucker ain't fooling me, but that be the problem, man. Y'all be having all these stores, liquor stores, and all this shit in these communities and don't do nothing to try to help and get back to the community. Don't put nothing out there for the kids. You ain't got to do shit for the grown-ups. Y'all ain't even doing shit for the kids. Y'all ain't even sponsoring no little league teams, doing none of that. All y'all doing is just sitting and just milking the hood. That's all the fuck y'all doing, man. I'm just keeping it hot. So it's time for us to just switch our wealth, bro. We have to put it into us and invest in us so we could be well off, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is. It's not a racist thing. It's a wake up thing. It's time to wake up. You know what I'm saying? So, cause it's like this, man. You know, I'm a strong believer, man. If we start producing well for our people, man, you know what I'm saying, we'll start living well. You know, it's a lot of pain and suffering going on out here, but it's enough when you got people coming into a poverty-stricken area already and then juicing, you know what I'm saying, that demographic area over there for the little money that it has already. That's, man, give back, man. Give back. That's all you got to do. What's hard with that?